5'10", but my right to look taller. Couldn't dunk, tell my phone how to jump. Amount of money had to get to the rock. Smokers calling, I can get them to stop. Favorite smoker, yeah, she calling right now. YOLO, what it do? Curse service, I bring it to you. Cause you're big, cause I'm not in the mood. Wanted you, but my wrist do too. Told you bitches, I started from basement. No pounds, just pounding the pavement. Eating good, ain't missing no payments. Road running for hundreds, my day shoot, yeah. Nigga, this dope shit. Number one track, pay. 4 rings, when I.
What up, squad? MizzyWorld, here with my guy, Dreis Major.
What up, what up?
Philly Phriday. It's a new format. We showing up with our hosts. I mean, not our hosts. We showing up with our guests.
Ah, shit.
Exactly. We showing up with our guests, Keylo Dope.
Yes, sir.
What we here to talk about, bro?
Yeah,
kitchen vibes.
Kitchen vibe shit, man.
And the brand. And the brand.
We talk. This gonna be your best interview, man.
What's the name of the brand?
Yeah, Convo Is Healthy, man. Convo Is Healthy. You know.
Convo is definitely healthy.
We got
Talk
Instagram page at Convo Is Healthy.
It's
there. You know, so it's all there.
Follow.
Let's get it. Yeah, follow, man.
Definitely support you. Dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But we here to really, y'all know what Philly Phriday about, man. My man, an artist, man. He just dropped this new mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Kitchen vibes. Shit is definitely a vibe. The first thing I want to get into is I really haven't shouted you out before I really do interviews. I really shout people out. I let them know where they from and all that. So, where the name Keylo Dope come from? Are you from Southwest? Where you from? Where they know you from?
Yeah,
Keylo, you feel what I'm saying? All that.
Yeah.
When you started rapping.
So you know, well, first we're gonna talk about, you know, I'm just gonna get to where I'm from. I'm from West Philly. You know,
Okay.
I was born down the bottom.
Okay.
People from West Philly.
Shout out the bottom.
You know, Shout out the bottom. they know. Everybody, you know, a lot of people know. Some people like, what's down the bottom? But, you know, for sure, you from what? Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta know.
Philly.
Yeah, you gotta know what down the bottom is. Some people be acting like they don't know though. You be like, that's what I be saying. You know what I'm saying?
Just moved to Philly.
That's what I be saying, bro.
Going outside or something.
This is what I be saying. So
exactly.
You know, so I moved over to the south side of the market. You know, when I was around like 8, 9, or whatever. So. You know, I was into basketball for real. Okay. But I always was like fucking with rap. You know, I always definitely fuck with rap. I used to always just like listening to that shit. Like growing up, I was.
It seemed like for real, the era that we grew up in, like for real, basketball and hip hop went together. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was AI, yo. It was AI. AI did that shit for a lot of people. Cause I tell people all the time, he really was the GOAT. Like he really was the GOAT.
Yeah, think about it, man. Shaq dropped the album at the time. At the time, Kobe dropped the album at the time, like all the ball players was in the rap scene. Even now, Lou Will rapping, you feel what I'm saying? You got rappers all over the place, Amon Shopper, you feel what I'm saying? So they all out there doing their thing.
Ball in the first place, like AI.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially if you're from Philly. He
came in with the tattoos and all that. You know, braids and
it was defining the game.
Yeah, he was changing everything up. So I was in the mix of that. So I was listening to people like really like primarily like Jay-Z. I like just his wordplay and his beat selection. His beat selection, especially like when he first was coming out, you know what I'm saying? Reasonable Doubt, shit like that. Like I still listen to that shit to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? 22 Twos, like that shit, like all that shit is really like crazy. Like, he was saying thought in 22 Twos, niggas don't even know that shit. Go back and listen to that shit. Nigga was saying thought before niggas even, you know what I'm saying, was saying that shit. Like for real.
That's crazy.
Like, like that's just the era I came up in at the end of the day. Listening to Jay-Z, playing basketball, shit like that, and then the down south shit started to come through, and then that shit hit me crazy too. Like because like when I went to college, I went to Newman University or whatever. I would say shout out them, but. Fuck them.
I was on pause. I wasn't shouting out shit you wasn't shouting out after it was. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck them because at the end of the day they ain't really show a nigga love how they was supposed to. But it's all cool though because I still end up doing my thing regardless. So it don't even matter. But I went up there whatever. So my guy, my man C, he from Camden. He had started playing Gucci, and I ain't never listened to Gucci. Man, I used to just be like, who the fuck is Bull? Like, you know what I'm saying? This was around like 09, 010.
Right.
So I'm like, who the fuck is Bull? So I listened to him. I forgot what
I still
song it
wasn't
was.
fucking with his wave at that
Yo,
time.
bro, it was some song that they was playing. He was off on, man. That shit was just the vibe. Yeah. I said, yo, this shit. The beat was crazy. I'm like, damn, this ain't no like. It wasn't no whole shit, but the. You know, it's that down south shit, something different. Like, so it was like, damn, like, I'm really fucking with this shit.
Put you in the vibe, put you in the mood.
Yeah, so I kind of like, after that, you know, because Jay-Z kind of like faded away, and then down south music kind of like took a step ahead. Yeah, so I kind of like started to gravitate towards that and a lot of those beats. So that was like, that was really like my whole situation, you know, growing up. You know, I was in school, just doing my thing. I was a smart kid, AB student. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't like a dumbass motherfucker. Like I was good. And the crazy thing about it, I really didn't even apply myself. I was just on some doing and shit.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Night before shit, morning of type shit. You know what I'm saying? Throwing some shit together.
Yeah, I was just running.
Should be crazy.
Yeah, man, I was just running wild.
So where the name Keylo Dope come from?
Man, that shit came from college because, you know, I was in college, but see now it's because time has passed now, so I can be talking about shit. You know, I was in college, I was doing my thing. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, niggas know what that mean. You know, I was doing my thing, and niggas was just like, damn, like you so fucking low though. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Because niggas was getting caught left and right, and the way how I had it, I was just working that motherfucking niggas was just like, damn, like. Yo, then my man from Canada, it was my man from Canada, he was like, yo, we need to come up with a nickname for you, bro. Right. And he was like, oh, watch, I'm going to come up with a nickname for you and shit. I was like, all right, bet. So the nigga was like, Keylo Dope. That's going to, no, he was like Keylo. That's what he said, Keylo. He was like, Keylo, because you low, you know, kid. And he was like, you low, you real low. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So.
That's tough.
Fast forward or whatever, me and him, we first link up or whatever. We in the car. I'm nervous as hell because he like, we going to the studio. I'm like, damn, man, I wanted to, you know how you be hyped to do something, but then once that shit be there, you be like, damn,
the butterflies, because it's something you just got into.
Meanwhile, he hype over it. Like, he like, yo, I'm trying to get this stool. I'm like, yo, I'm not taking him serious. I'm like, yo, like, you not trying to rap like that. Everybody be like, yo, I'm trying to rap.
Everybody say that.
I'm trying to rap like, yo, I'm trying to get in the stool. Like, what's good? Nobody really be trying to do it. And then you see somebody be like, are you really trying to do it? And then it come time like, all right, bet we about to go to the stool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo,
you ready? Like, you ready? Like, cause he rap, he freestyle in front of me. I'm like, oh, all right, bet. All right, let's go to the studio and bet. He's serious. Then we go, and now he like, all right, well, yeah. All right, so it just seemed like, all right, damn.
It was just an automatic, you know what I'm saying,
like,
spark.
But then you don't realize he don't rap. Like, this is not what he do. He don't go to the studio. So
that wasn't that wasn't my whole day. So it was,
he rap, but, you know what I'm saying?
He don't do it. He don't carry it like that.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Do it.
Everybody from Philly rap. You know what I'm saying? It was on some bullshit shit. Everybody shit. You spit a couple bars, probably got a little something they got written down. So that's more so what I was on. I was just on some bullshit or whatever. So we in the car and shit. So he like, what's your name? Like, what's your rap name gonna be and shit? So I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a minute for, you know, that was that Keylo shit. That was really my name of college or whatever. The streets niggas just knew me as my regular name. So I was like, I don't know. So I wasn't even thinking about that. Jones. He's like, you ain't got no nicknames. Right. So then I was like, well, niggas was calling me Keylo up college and shit. He's like, yeah, so why they was calling you that? So I broke it down.
That's how he be though. This nigga always rubbing his hands like Birdman out here.
So I'm like, yeah, just break it down to him. So he like, yeah. That's what's up. So around that time, I was getting busy. So he was like, yo, you should call yourself Keylo Dope. Right. So I was like, right, we gonna rock with that then. Cause that was my whole situation right there. So I said, fuck it, we gonna go with Keylo Dope then. That sounds some cool shit. Fuck it. So we get in the studio and we had already kind of started making this. Cause I didn't know how to write. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't understand bars. Like, what's one bar? Like, what, how you format a song? Like, I'm trying to, cause I need to know the science before. I'm the type of nigga. I
ain't just gonna do it and not know how to do it
be
correctly.
Looking dumb as shit out here. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like,
motherfuckers see your right book, like, what the fuck?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Exactly. Like, this nigga, what is he talking about? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. You know, so I had wrote a little bit of shit down. So he was like, I started rapping it to him. He was like, yo, this sound like a hook or whatever. Cause I was writing originally just writing it, just whatever. He was like, this sound like a hook. He was like, yo, so we had made a song and it was called Oprah or whatever.
Right.
So that joint was his beat or whatever. So that joint was a cool joint. You feel what I'm saying? Cool especially because it was my first song or whatever. It was a little basic ass song, but we had made that shit happen. But you know,
everybody was on it.
Everybody was fucking with it and shit.
Was on it.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but we never dropped it until it was like
it was after the, you know what I'm saying, too late and shit. So, but that's
wave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we was fucking.
But it was some shit. Everybody was on it. Like the hood was feeling it. The hood was feeling it. Like everybody was feeling it.
Niggas was definitely fucking with it.
You know what I mean? We heavy connected. We know everybody. Like everybody heard what was going on at the time. It was still like it was a movement, but nobody believed for real because it was like we're like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have some more shit. We gotta hear something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's like
you can't just come through with some hot shit. And
like, so I was
niggas look at your library and that's it.
Like,
exactly. So I was on my joint like, all right, cool. So after that, I started like getting in the studio more often and shit. So we started fucking with this producer and his name was Faust or whatever. He ended up passing away or whatever. R.I.P. him.
Yeah, R.I.P.
So he used to have crazy beats and shit like that. He was like, yo, like when I started coming there more consistent, he was like, yo, like I really fuck with you. Like, yo, I'm gonna start throwing you beats and shit. You can rap off them Jones, So I'm like, all right, say no more. So we started doing that. So end up we ended up getting a lot of songs done. So I was like, fuck it, I might just drop a mixtape or whatever. So I had dropped a mixtape. It's on that page still, dope music, trap poetry. Or whatever, so you know what I'm saying?
I definitely tune into that, John. Tune into that.
Yeah. So that you know what I'm saying, when you hear that, John, then it really tell you what I was really young. But
that's like really a mixtape, and it's really out.
Yeah, that shit.
Go check that on
that shit.
.com, and that joint is actually hot. You know what I mean? And it's a classic.
Shit.
It's like an archive classic that's really out. You know what I mean? And it's on wax, been on wax, and you see the date. That's the date. You know what I mean? You could tell, like, that's when he started really
doing his thing.
Doing his thing for real. Like,
I dropped like motherfucking 20 tracks on that joint and shit like
damn.
that. You know what I'm saying? I was going crazy. Like, I was like, damn, like I was one of the niggas to hear me. So I dropped so many tracks. And which in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done that shit because I'm like, I should have probably spread it out a little bit. So niggas could have got the shit in rotation.
Because depending on how you moving at that time, if your library heavy at that time, you can afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? You still got songs on songs.
Yeah, I had.
But sometimes you don't want to push your whole library out at the same time.
Exactly. So I was like
everything you got in the repertoire. You feel what I'm saying? You busting that shit off. It's like dang.
He ain't got nothing else.
Or you gotta re-up, you feel what I'm saying? You gotta get back in the stew and then it's a whole process.
We actually recorded like way more songs than that ever came out. Like
that's how though.
He still got way more songs. We got way more songs together. Like
yes, sir.
Man.
But since we talking about the motherfucking we talking about the track list and everything, the one thing that stood out to me was that you kind of took the route that a lot of artists, and I'm gonna say like from 2019 through 2020 have taken with the EP, the shorter versions of like the releases. You feel what I'm saying? I think you had 70 tracks on your joint. So what was the mindset behind that? And it was just like it was a total vibe. So did you work with different producers? What producers did you work with? How was it trying to really set like that same specific vibe for 70 tracks?
It was crazy because like a lot of that shit, like I say like probably like 80% of that shit was freestyle. You feel what I'm saying? So it was all off feel. So what we was doing was we'd be going on YouTube and we'd be finding, producers or whatever
so
the case.
A lot of the YouTube
So we went, and then I would we would grab the beat, whatever. I record that shit. I send it to the producer of the beat or whatever the case was. You want this, John, bro? Good. He gonna go grab it. So it's good. That's some high shit.
Factory.
Yo, real shit. So so we'll grab the beats off of YouTube, whatever the case is. Next thing you know, get a vibe to that, and we would be freestyling. Like for instance, the intro, Kitchen Vibe, the actual song. I freestyled. He'll tell you, no lie, hand up the guy. I freestyled that whole drum in one run. Like I just went in and it was just like, it was just a vibe.
So that's the process for every song? Because I remember you was talking about you really wanted to know the science of writing a song. So did you just say once you found the science, you was like, matter of fact, like my little vibe is just to go off the top. Once
I found the format and how to do everything, it was just like, all right, I mastered that, so now I can just go back to what I use, because I that's how I started off rapping, was freestyling and shit like that. So
and then sometimes you can just come back and clean it up if you want to.
Exactly. Right, so it was like, and plus not to mention,
you know how to do that.
Exactly.
If you wanted to.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of rappers can relate to this. Like, niggas get writer's block at the end of the day. Like, you run out this shit to talk about. You be like, damn. Like,
because you don't want to talk. You say the same shit about other rappers, so you don't want to fall in the same lane of spitting the same bars, even if you think is like knowledge shit. You don't want to spit the same knowledge. You don't want to talk about money all the time. You don't want to talk about getting chicks all the time. You don't want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, dressing fly all the time, catching bodies all the time. You don't want to talk on the same specific subjects all the time. So I could definitely see where it comes from.
Yeah, so you connecting to an audience. They want to hear a certain, like, you want to, if you catch a vibe, you're like, all right, the beat hot, but you want to hear like
facts, some shit that you gonna connect to.
Yeah. So that's
especially with everything that's out right now. I mean, if you want to turn up, you already know. Just flip the radio on. You gonna hear the hottest shit out right now, or the shit that they pushing is the hottest shit out right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to catch a vibe, people got these special artists that they go to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. So I'm one of them artists. Come holler at me. So
exactly.
You know, at the end of the day, that's just how we went in. And the crazy thing about it, we actually recorded in here in the kitchen. You know, we recorded every song. I got it cleaned up by my man Dunny. Shout out to Dunny. Everybody know about him. Heavy music.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Dunny.
You know what I'm saying? So we was just recording. Like I said, we was just catching vibes and. Like I said, 80%, like one song, it was about, I think one song on there I did, it was the Long Day John. I wrote that one. Okay. But everything else was pretty much freestyle. Like, it was just more so going off of feel and just like, yo, all right, cool. Like I said, because at the end of the day, like, to me, that writing shit the wild, for me, it was just like, all right, I done mastered that shit. Now I can just go to some other shit and just be like, just go off the field, you know what I'm saying? And that's more so what I wanted to go with. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be able to just have to think about
and being a Jay-Z fan.
Exactly. So
you know what I'm saying? Like you got to throw that in there. And being a Jay fan.
Exactly. It's just natural.
We already know what. You know what I'm saying? They used to say how the vibes used to be with Big and Jay in there, and they just used to be over there whispering in the fucking corner to themselves when they heard the beat and shit. Then they be quicker than niggas that's writing and shit. You wasn't ready.
Yo, real shit, bro.
Like,
so,
damn.
Bro, and that's how.
Because that's a hard question to answer sometimes. Cause you be like, all right, cool. You can't go about it every time like that. Yeah. You might have to carry something different. Like, you might have to switch it up. You might have to write this for a second. Like, you might have
for
to
certain
think about
artists,
it.
but I mean, from what I heard from Jay, I mean, from the stories with Jay, it's all his is off the top.
Yeah, all his. And that's why everybody was like, yo, that was Jay. Like, but it's like,
you know what I'm saying? That's different.
But it's like where everything changing, it's like, all right,
and then there's different ways of doing it. Because I remember one time, I think Weezy had a documentary on how he did the documentary. Carter 3, and he was carrying around a portable studio, and he was just saying bars. And anytime he had to think a bar, he had just boom, 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 and he had put it together on a song when he had listened back to it. Yup.
And then be a hot shit. Everybody
like. But he got that intellect just like, you know what I'm saying, all of us. I mean, motherfuckers them went to different schools.
It's funny because that was
you got to be a different type of smart motherfucker to do shit like that.
That was one of the niggas I thought of. Shout out to Wayne too.
Shout out Wayne. Of course.
He don't get enough
respect, of course, because he went through the period of Gilly having writing for him. You know what I'm saying? So once once he had to get his name, people still, you know what I'm saying, doubt what he does, but it's like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying, you got to get the credit where it's due.
Exactly.
Because he definitely did the whole documentary on that, John. If you a music fan or a Weezy fan, you saw it.
And that's fact. So it was like when you come up listening to shit like that, and another nigga I listened to was motherfucking Jeezy.
Oh yeah,
I was in the motherfucking
and even like you said in that era from that what it was like that 08 to like 11 era. You know what I'm saying? The wave was stupid.
That was
wave was stupid.
Really, Jeezy was.
And they was applying pressure out here.
Exactly. So he had me in my drum, like you know what I'm saying. Like he made you want to get out there and go trap and get out in the streets. Like damn, even if you was just like a regular ass nigga, you be like. Fucking, I'm out there.
But that's what music do to you anyway. So when you great at it, you feel what I'm saying, and you special. That's when you, like you said, you be the boy that you might be in Harvard. You hear Jeezy, you like, hold up, man. I don't know if I want to be a doctor anymore.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I want to be a street pharmacist. How much they get paid?
He said, hold on. Exactly.
So that's how that shit really was for me at the end of the day. So you know, just listening to people like that, I think that's what really like influenced me coming up, and you know that definitely got to my style and you know just different facets or whatever. Like even like in my old shit, like you probably heard shit, you like damn, this kind of like really kind of on some trap shit, like you know what I'm saying. Like it probably make you want to really get out there because that's
right the wave you was on at the time.
at the time, you feel what I'm saying. Exactly. And that's what I like to do. I like to make music for at the time, so that's another reason.
Time capsule. I was saying that about whatchamacallit. Sometimes you come back and listen to Fab, like you just listen to his bars, you be like, damn, that shit was really happening at that time, because he'd be using like specific bars from that time, and shit exactly at that time and shit. You be like, damn, like I forgot that happened. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like,
and that's why he do it. It's like it remind you this the time is stamped.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, like I said, you know, it's this EP, like I just feel like it's like the hottest shit out. That's just how I feel about it.
I mean, the vibe was definitely something that I didn't expect, and I appreciate it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm like, cause I usually listen to it early, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, usually, like, I get into my Philly artists early, but I ain't really get around to it that early, you feel what I'm saying? But once we was really getting ready for it, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get into your bag. And I listen to it, and I'm like, yo, this joint is a vibe, you feel what I'm saying? I'm like, in fact, I go to the crib, roll a couple joints, and then sit back to this joint, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the mood I want to put niggas in, cause that's the type nigga I am at the end of the day. I ain't one of them niggas that just be out here. Right. Everybody that know me know I'm a cool, low key nigga.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I just do my thing and just play the background. And when it's come time to shine, I'm there. So at the end of the day, that's just the type of nigga Keylo Dope is. Like at the end of the day, so
So that's the vibe you really wanted the fans to hear when they heard Kitchen Vibes, like just a chill, laid back, on some real like hip hop Bob Marley shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like not no hip hop Bob Marley shit, but like that vibe. You feel what I'm saying?
Like that's kind of like that's an accurate. I say that's kind of accurate because at the end of the day, what I do is I am like a Bob Marley. Like I blues it in, pose like I get fried. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like you feel what I'm, you know what I mean? Like I get fried all day. So it's like. That's my vibe, and it is like I said, at the end of the day, I make music for niggas. This is like the kickback. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be hard all the time. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta be against. It's just cool
at the end of the day, you for you ain't never gotta be unless you tested to be. You feel what I'm saying? Like I don't. Especially, I mean, that's a whole different discussion. We'll probably get into that round table discussion another time. You feel what I'm saying? But because I know my bro, he be talking some dope stuff on his story as well. You feel what I'm saying? He be talking some deeper stuff. And we can definitely get into some MizzyWorld conversations. You feel what I'm saying? Not some Philly Phriday music stuff. But besides that, the vibes and all that, let's get into before we wrap everything up. Let's get into the brand. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What it represents. When did you start it? What's the prices? Where can they buy it? All that. You feel what I'm saying? Where can they find your music? You know all that.
So we definitely the clothes Convo Is Healthy, it just basically started off. Yo, it's crazy because you know how Instagram is and all that shit. You be seeing all the bullshit. So I don't know who it was. Matter of fact, I think it was like Pharrell. Shout out to Pharrell though.
Shout out Pharrell. His non-aging ass.
Yeah.
This motherfucker like 70 out here.
Yo, real shit, yo. Still looking like the same
This nigga like 70.
Yo, so I fucking it was, I don't know if you've seen it. It was like a GQ cover, and it had him. He had like something. It was like almost like a dress, almost something. Yeah. And I was not feeling that.
Yeah, I saw it.
It was crazy because when I saw it, because I had seen it on the magazine. I'm like, damn. I seen it on the cover. I was like, damn.
Was it like a joint like he had jeans under it too?
No,
you don't see the jeans. It's like.
But he had jeans on.
Look, I don't know.
But the way it was,
it was like a real long dress. Like
it was like one of those. It was like an Asian, like one of those Asian dresses.
It was like an Islamic throw.
Something like that. It was like, I can't explain. You had to just see it. You
I don't know what it was. I just seen it.
But
I seen it on the magazine today. I was just like,
niggas was like,
what is that?
What is that? You know what I'm saying? And then my whole thing about that was like, you know, the way I felt about it, I was just like, the way the world is going right now, I just feel like as a whole, they just trying to demasculate black men. That's just how I feel about that as a whole.
Wow.
So so when I seen that,
that's why I said we gonna get into some conversation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It kind of struck a nerve, and like I said, I fuck with Pharrell.
You know his music is like, yo, you know.
Yeah, and I think he a thorough ass nigga. Just besides the music anyway, he just a thorough nigga.
Right.
So I went on. It was on Instagram, and it was Shade Room. So, you know, people was like, what the fuck? You know, people did it. And then you had, it was like 50-50. You had people like, what the fuck? And then you had the other people on the other side of the spectrum talking about, oh, y'all homophobic, this and that.
Of course.
So, my thing was, I was like, you know, just because you don't agree with something, don't mean you know, necessarily
bias to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Or I'm homophobic. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, do people know what the word phobic means? That means a fear or something. So if you
like, you can't be around it, you can't tolerate it.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, I just because
like a germaphobe. It's like.
Exactly.
I'm cleaning the table right now. I'm a germaphobe. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't agree with that. And it was funny because I had commented on it, and it was a lot of people that was responding. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, a lot of people was agreeing. There was a couple people that was, you know, disagreeing. But a lot of people was agreeing with me and shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. So I'm sitting talking with my girl, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy that every time somebody just, you know, don't agree with a homosexual person, or whatever the case is, or maybe
anybody.
Point, it's oh, you're homophobic. So I said, yo, it'd be crazy if black people use that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, like that's how I be feeling though about our culture, just black people culture in general. I'm like, damn, like the way that people come at us, I'm like, yo, I'm like, they really scared of us at the end of the day, like for real.
Right.
Like they say the homophobic thing, that's cool, but I don't agree with that. I don't think some people probably are, but I'm not. You feel what I'm saying? I'm comfortable with whoever. So it's like, I don't care who I'm around. I was looking at it like, damn, I could kind of like use that though, like for our culture though. So I said, damn, let me put how can I make it something like, all right, black phobia, nah. And then I thought about it. I was like, nigga phobia. I'm like, nah, that don't. Then I was like, nigrophobia. That sound cool. You feel what I'm saying? And that's something niggas can wear and catch your eye, because it's like, wait a minute, do that say negro? And then it's like phobia. Wait a minute. So what's that? You feel what I'm saying? So when niggas, you feel what I'm saying? Right. You feel what I'm saying? It's cop up. So it's like when niggas see it, they like, wait. This dude, what that say on there? And then they like, what do it mean? And it's like, basically,
you shouldn't have a phobia of black people.
You shouldn't, exactly. And it's just a conversation starter. And it's funny because
and that is a conversation starter, because what's the next question from, say a white person asked me that, and it's just like, what that actually means, you feel what I'm saying? Just like the perception that you should be scared of a black person, or the perception of black people in just in general in the media and all that. You feel what I'm saying? That's not what you should judge black people off of. You know what I'm saying?
You see, just my presence alone makes you uncomfortable at the end of the day. So it's like that was my whole thing, and also it wasn't even just with necessarily just white people. It's just people in general.
Of course.
Black people too, because I'm like,
Sometimes you be running across black people and they be
and it's funny because
you're scared of your own brothers. Like,
I say that because it's a lot of us that's scared to spend with each other. You know what I'm saying? Support each other.
Yeah. Right.
Because we thinking, oh, what this person gonna think? Oh, that ain't cool because and it's like we be so scared of what people think. And worrying about
it take a whole way for you to even support like a black.
Yeah, it's like
limiting yourself and you limiting somebody else. So
it's like pulling your teeth, and it's like I just want to basically bring everybody together somehow, because it's like we all gotta come to a common ground. We all black, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is, but we might see stuff different. You feel what I'm saying? You might have came up a different way than I came up. You might not came
especially
up
now.
You feel what I'm saying? You might not have came up in the hood. You might have came up, but at the end of the day, you might. We all experienced this at one point or another. Maybe you might have noticed it or not, but guarantee you definitely experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I want to bring the attention to. And it just so happened that because I had thought this idea like really like. At the beginning, on the end of 2019. So it was like when I was like, damn, and I was telling Dre about, I'm like, yo, I got this idea. He was like, yo, that's dope, and I just sat on it, or whatever the case was. So then my cousin, he was doing clothes. My cousin, he Alien Rock or whatever. Check him out too.
Okay.
So he was doing the clothes. I said, damn, cuz I want, you know what I'm saying? He said, say no more. He put me on, plugged me in, and I just started doing these shirts about like a couple of weeks ago now. And they've been definitely doing good. So and that's like I said, that's just the whole.
So the brand name is actually Convo Is Healthy. Though.
Convo Is Healthy. That's the brand.
So the number one joint is niggerophobia, right?
That's the
number one joint. So do you got anything on the line up next as far as what's the convo started? You feel what I'm saying? After niggerophobia.
I'm still trying to think about that, honestly. Like what angle, what do I want to? Because it's so many different things, and it's like I want to be able to have shock value like that. When you see that, it's shock value. So it's like I want to be able to have shock value, but at the same time, people be able to be like, but what do that mean, or what's that, or like it really. Feel it, you feel what I'm saying? Because that's really what it's about. And like I said, it might not necessarily be about stuff like that. It's about different things. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like a conversation started. Shit, motherfuckers come to me with shit like that. Just having a conversation like this, idea might click. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think it's just gonna come to me organically, just like everything else do. Like I'm a with the flow ass nigga. So
exactly.
At the end of the
day,
the
moment should just hit you like a fucking bolt of lightning. You feel it?
Yeah.
You be like,
right. You feel
it's just you gotta catch it like that. That's what like that's why like especially when you in this entertainment type thing, you gotta keep something to like jot your ideas down. You don't want that shit to float away in the air and shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's definitely the next thing. So before we get up out of here, tell them where to find this at, where to buy them at, where to find your music at, bro.
Yeah, so you can find the clothes at Convo Is Healthy on Instagram or whatever. CONVO is healthy. So
no underscores or none of that.
No underscores, no nothing like that. And my Instagram is key_A1_dope or whatever. So yeah, you could music is everywhere. It's on every platform. It's on Apple, Spotify.
Definitely a vibe, yo.
You know what I'm saying? Mom mixtapes, everything. So definitely go check that shit out because it's definitely a hot ass motherfucking tape. At the end of the day, and a lot of niggas gotta hear that shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And it ain't just because I'm like, if I was a nigga that did it, I would say that shit was the hottest shit. You feel what I'm saying? Just like I said, it's a vibe, man. It's really just a vibe at the end of the day. You feel me? organic shit. That's
especially if you in that mode, you kick back, get high, boy. That's definitely
which a lot of you niggas is apparently, because a lot of you niggas be grabbing
is.
weed.
Yeah,
a lot of you niggas be grabbing weed.
Weed, the number one drug in America right now.
Yeah, a lot of y'all niggas be grabbing that gas.
Shit going down over weed right now.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers, that's a whole nother conversation. You know?
That's another conversation.
But
yeah, though, man, it's definitely some shit that motherfucking spark up to,
facts.
ride to, late night, early morning, about to go to work, job. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's
any of that, man. You waking up and you about to hit the grind. You about to hit the block. You feel what I'm saying? You one of them early birds get the worm first dudes. You feel what I'm saying? Like we know. You know what I'm saying? If you one of them boys on that type time, you feel what I'm saying? And you gotta have that L before you go out in the morning. That's a joint. Pop that joint and brush your teeth, roll your L. By the time you get out on the block, you better ready to do your thing.
That shit get you right in the motherfucking zone. So,
you know like on your chill shit, ready to get a bag.
Yeah.
Not ready to be on no nut shit, ready to catch a fucking case.
You feel what I'm saying? Because
not ready to catch a motherfucking case.
A lot of y'all niggas be on some bullshit.
Promoting catching cases for motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I just want a lot of y'all niggas to really wake up.
Don't keep up with the catching case wave.
Yeah, real shit. I want a lot of y'all niggas to wake up at the end of the day, man. It's time to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all this
spread the bread, man.
Yeah, fuck all that other bullshit.
It's too much money out here, man.
Yeah,
too much money.
Young boys. Fuck all this guns and all that shit. It's a lot more money out here. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot more money than jail time. You feel what I'm saying?
You don't want to find it out too late. You don't want to find it out when you're 15 doing 20 to life.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So this shit is just to get you in the vibe. Right. You feel what I'm saying? We promoting positivity over there for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we on, man.
That's a vibe.
That's what we on.
Shout out to everybody.
Got anything before we get out of here for Key?
No, just kitchen vibes, man. Go
kitchen vibes. Hold up, but y'all ain't think we in the motherfucking kitchen right now? You know what I'm saying? Philly fucking Friday, man. It is what it is. I appreciate you letting me in the crib, man. This is my first time meeting this motherfucker. Yeah, man.
You
dope
already,
vibe. You feel what I'm saying?
Vibe shit.
This is the kitchen vibe. You feel what I'm saying? Apple Music, everything. You feel what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Dreis Major.
Yes, sir.
MizzyWorld Entertainment. Philly Phriday.
Gang. Yes, sir.